Swiss authorities say around 40 people were killed in a New Year's fire and more than 100 injured, many severely. The president has described it as one of the worst tragedies the country's experienced. The blaze broke out in a bar in the Alpine ski resort of Crans-Montana. Eyewitnesses say it was caused by a sparkler being held too close to a basement ceiling, though authorities say it's too early to determine the cause.
A party turned to tragedy at the Constellation Bar during New Year's Eve celebrations. The music still playing as fire ripped through the venue. A young man who was at a nearby restaurant described the scenes of panic.
The thing is, there were a lot of people at the entry trying to escape, and was full, and people was walking on everybody, and trying to escape. And a lot of people were screaming, trying to escape, and I saw a lot of people on the floor, and I think these people was dead.
The morning after, police cordons and forensic tents, not scenes people are used to seeing in this exclusive ski resort. Authorities gave an early estimate of the casualties. Many are being treated in hospital, including in neighbouring Italy and France.
All of the injured have been taken care of. We've counted around 100 injured people, most of them seriously, and unfortunately several dozen individuals are presumed dead.
Reports of an explosion in the Constellation at the time of the blaze fueled speculation. But authorities in Switzerland's Valais canton say they can rule out a deliberate attack or terrorism.
Stefanie Dodt is a Switzerland correspondent with the German public broadcaster ARD. A little earlier, she gave me this update.
We don't have an official confirmation of what exactly caused this blaze. We know that there was a fire first, and then there were several explosions. We spoke to people here that were in the bar, and they told us that there were people handing over table firework, holding it very closely to the ceiling, and that they witnessed that the ceiling then caught fire. What we know confirmed from the authorities is that it was first a very light fire, and then suddenly it became a very, very large one. And that was a thing of seconds. And probably this is why we have so many dead people. The other thing is that this is a bar that is partially inside a cave, so you have to go down there, the stairs, to enter the largest part of the bar. So maybe when the panic started, the people didn't really get the chance to come out quick enough. That is what we learned so far.
And this is a tragedy with wider repercussions. I understand hospitals are so overwhelmed, authorities are telling the wider population to take extra care.
That's true. I mean, more than 100 people severely injured. That is something. The local hospital, the emergency room is full, but we know that there is many hospitals all over Switzerland that already had a large number of people taken in that are treated there. So the victims are being treated in specialized clinics all over the country.
Tell us more about this town, Crans-Montana.
It's a tiny town. We have 10,000 inhabitants that live here generally, and it's also a tourism magnet. So people love to come here for skiing. It's beautiful. It's right in the Alps, and it's beautiful ski day. And people were going out skiing even today. They were saying, well, some of them were crying and then saying, well, I have to get up on the mountain to breathe, to get some distance, to kind of start processing what actually happens here. So it's a very familiar town. People are coming back here every year. So everyone knows each other, and everyone is now looking for people that still are missing. So we just spoke to a couple of young people, 18, 19 years old, who are saying, well, I haven't heard of my friends. I don't know. Are they hospitalized? Are they dead? It's a real tragedy for this tiny ski village.
Paula Kersten is a journalist with Germany's public broadcaster ARD. She joins us from Sion in Switzerland, where local authorities have just ended their press conference. Welcome, Paula. What have we learned?
that many things are still unclear. For example, the reason why the fire actually started in that bar is still unclear, or the investigators won't say anything yet to the circumstances. There are witnesses that told us that there was table fireworks that were too close to the ceiling. Others say that there were candles in a champagne bottle as well close to the ceiling, and that the fire spread really quickly. But the investigators can't say anything yet because the investigations are still ongoing. So nothing clear on that side yet. But the people who were here at the press conference, not the General Attorney, for example, many people were there this morning, this night, and they were very touched by what they have seen, the people they spoke with. So the attorney that I talked to told me that she was unable to put in words what she saw this morning because it was really just terrible. There were many young people in the bar. It was a place that was really that many young people liked, but it's still unclear where the victims came from exactly. This investigation is also still ongoing, also because the victims, it's really hard to identify them actually because of the burning. But this is priority number one for the investigators right now. What I can tell you is how many people did die actually in this tragic event. 40 people, around 40 people have died, and 115 were severely injured.
And what is known of the condition of those severely injured?
Many of them were transported to specialized hospitals here in Switzerland. There's one in Lausanne, another one in Zurich. There are 22 people being treated right now in Lausanne, a clinic that is specialized in those severe burnings. And for now, I can't tell you anything more about their condition because they weren't able to give us an interview yet. The request is still ongoing. I believe, they have a lot to do at the moment.
As authorities try to identify victims and indeed survivors, they must be... what sort of facilities are in place for people to try and find out whether their loved ones are amongst the living or indeed the dead?
This is also a very important subject. There's a helpline that was installed by the authorities where people who are missing someone they love, someone from the family, they can call to have further information. What is hardest, I guess, for families who know that people have celebrated in that bar is that many are still unidentified. As I told you before, it's really one of the top priorities right now because people just want to know what happened to their loved ones.
And what did authorities say about the state of the investigation? Where does it go from here?
They don't say much right now because the investigation is still ongoing. They told us that they are investigating every possible path, that they are investigating the table fireworks, for example, but they can't say anything more precise yet. So unfortunately, they didn't tell me anything more precise. I can't tell you anything more precise either. It's just that they investigate every possibility, and we hope to have more information soon.
Thanks so much for talking us through that, Paula. ARD journalist Paula Kersten.